I remember for about, gosh, I don't know, maybe about 10 years, Audie and I tried to conceive and have a child. And I remember at one point I was talking to my mom, and it was at the point that Audie was, he's older than I am. He's getting much older, and he thought, we're getting older. Like, I don't know that I want to have a child at this age, or he was pretty clear he didn't. And so I was talking to my mom about, whether I should, kind of like ask him to try a little longer. And when we were talking about it, I she said, have you prayed about this? And I said, Mom, you got to be kidding me. Like, I've been praying about this for years. Like, she's like, no. I mean, have you really prayed about it? Like, really, like a beseeching prayer that's like with the entirety of your being. And I thought to myself, well, I'm not sure. Maybe I haven't. Maybe I haven't like really put all of myself and just given all myself to this prayer. And what I'm talking about in this moment is fascinating to me as a spiritual teacher, because it's this kind of blending of a prayer that's beseeching, which sounds grasping, but at the same time, we're talking about a prayer where you call from, the very depth of your person with, all that you can give, to a prayer that's also a kind of giving, and it's almost as though that utter giving and abandon of giving yourself to a prayer so fully, it seems to almost like cancel out the grasping aspect of wanting a response. This is intuitive on my part, so it's you have to kind of either get the intuitive thing I'm saying, or disagree with it, jettison it. But I feel that was really what my mom was pointing at, without just her instinctively, pointing that out. I don't know that she would have talked about it in this way that I'm talking about it, but. And so I just did this really, really heartfelt prayer. And for myself, I had such a personal relationship with Yogananda and his teachings growing up for most of my life that I made the prayer to him, his presence. He's no longer living. And it was an interesting response that I got, and I don't know that it's so important for the talk I'm giving, but I feel that it might be just interesting to note that what happened as a response to that prayer was something that had never happened to me before, which is I felt that I had this energy like come in to my mind. It was actually just a little bit on the right side, to the right of center in my mind. It was as though it was an energetic wall that came down in my mind, and it made it absolutely impossible for me to access any thoughts about this topic. And I thought that was like really amazing. It lasted like, I don't even remember how many days or maybe a week that it lasted. And it was like literally like if I would try to ask myself this question, like, what should I talk to Audie about this, or how do I proceed, or how do I make this decision, or anything like that I used to do, it would like literally hit a wall and I couldn't access it. And I got this really clear sense. It was almost like a voice within that's just like, this is going to resolve itself. Like, just give it over to me. And it did. It just resolved itself. Like, something in me just felt like the whole issue was done. And it was no longer something I grasped after, this notion of being a mother. And And I had looked at it a lot over the years as to what kind of grasping it was, and it felt like it was a blend. Sometimes grasping is a blend. Like it's not just all like coming from a sense of lack. It can also come from a call to express in a mothering, nurturing way, or something that's like an overflow as well. So I think it's just interesting to look very closely at what we think of as yearning, and to see what parts of it come from a sense of lack and something missing, and what parts of it come from a different, kind of communication, to direct our attention usually in a certain way. And in this case, it was to keep my attention more silent and more quiet and off of this topic.